Alright, saxophone fans, bringing you a tutorial today on 7th chords. And I'm going to do it in the key of C, although I might switch to D or A because I like those keys also. And I'm going to assume that you do have a little bit of theoretical knowledge, but I will do my best to keep it consistent. So in the key of C you have no sharps or flats, and so if you just play the scale, you have the key of C, and what a 7th chord is it's your basic triad with the next triad in order. So for your C 7th chord you would have C, E, G, B. So the C triad is see, that's your basic C triad. But if you had the 7th, which would be a B, it would sound like this. So you get a very beautiful sound. Now something interesting happens if you just play all of the notes in the order of their thirds, or in the order of a chord. You actually get every single 7th chord, and it boils down to what's called a 13th chord, which is C, E, G, B, D, F, A. So you get this. So all of your 7th chords are actually in that chord. So here's each 7th chord. The first chord, which is a major 7 chord, C, E, G, B, the first chord is just. The second chord is D, F, A, C. Now notice the 7th is the root of the chord that was before it. So the next chord is E, G, B, D. The next chord is F, A, C, E. The next chord is G, B, D, F. The next chord is A, C, E, G. And the next chord is B, D, F, A. And that brings you back to C. So what is the advantage of knowing these 7ths? How does that help? Well, it helps in how you begin to see the interrelationships of the notes, and it's also great for technical exercises, because if you run each 7th chord up the scale for the full range of the horn, it really helps the technique of the instrument, and it helps you to hear the wide range of harmonic and melodic possibilities. So you would do something like this. So that covers all your 7th chords. Now again, I'm just assuming that you have some theoretical knowledge. It would be very time consuming to go through each chord and its qualities. But the major chord, the first major chord has a major 7th. The second chord has a minor 7th. The third chord has a minor 7th. The 4 chord has a major 7th. The 5 chord has what's called a dominant 7th, or a minor 7th above a major triad. And the 6th chord has a minor 7th, and the 7th chord also has a minor 7th. So you can start to do, now you can reverse what I just did also, and you can do it from the top down. So you could go See, so it starts to bring to mind real melodic ideas and possibilities. And then of course you can do that in reverse also. But this is a really cool exercise, which all of this is leading to, which I think is of great benefit to do. It's where you start with the first chord, you ascend, and then you just go to the next note, because that's where you see the relationship where I said before, where the seventh chord of the seventh of the one chord, or the root of the chord you start with is the seventh of the next chord. So if I do just the first sequence, I'm going to get C, E, G, B, C. So you get that nice resolution between the B and the C, but now you can descend through the two chords. So you go like this. And you begin to hear all the relationships. See, all the relationships of the major scale are now there. So if I run all the chords, it's going to sound like this. See, and you just begin to hear a lot of melodic possibilities, and then of course you can reverse that. So it's great to be able to understand your major key in this way. And I highly recommend that what you do is set a metronome so that you practice it real strictly and do your best to analyze each chord. Now it doesn't matter if you understand the theory or not, but if you can just get the sequence and keep it in metronomic time, you will gain a lot over your instrument, in terms of control over your instrument, and just overall musical understanding. So if I were to do it in metronomic time, you would get something like So again, it's a very beneficial exercise, and there are certain songs that have just used a major chord sequence for the overall melodic line and flow of the song. I'll be sure and link one or put one in the video that you'll see in the description. Now, where it really even starts to become of more benefit is where you're going to start to make connections between the scale and the chord, how the chords fit the scales. You're going to begin to make connections, and if you really like improvising, you'll begin to spin out ideas. You'll begin to be able to figure out how to spin out ideas, say along the lines of So you can start to make up lots of cool stuff and make a lot of interesting exercises with it. Here's one that I made up for myself. I'll just play it a little bit and then I'll kind of break it down for you. done, what I do is I start on the 5th of the chord. Now, with the way it fits on the saxophone, I start on the 5th of the 5 chord, and I play the actual chord, and I end up back on the 3rd of the chord, and then I just go to the next note, and I continue the sequence through the 7th chord. See, so again, you can just continue to make up ideas. Now I'll do a little bit more improvising. I moved a little bit quickly, but what I recommend is that you look up your 7th chords, study them, fit them into the scale. Again, they provide you with a great range of melodic understanding, harmonic understanding, and most importantly, melodic possibilities. So I'll do a little bit more improvising on it, and then we'll finish up. So I hope that helps you guys. Any questions, just feel free to leave a comment below, or you can even message me, get in touch with me. I can help you with it, think about what's going on with it. And thanks again for taking the time to listen, and I hope this helped you quite a bit.